In sixth grade, we're going to do one more review here on Adobe Spark Post. We are still going to use our learning target and our success criteria as we start every class. So let me go to our daily slide deck. Please make sure you can use your phone if you need to use a review. But this is our learning target video development with Adobe Video. And I'm going to add uh, video development and poster design. Okay. Now all these other success criteria, placing three pictures, you've done that. We're going to try that today. Are still using the Google Doc shared folder for all your raw footage, your artifacts, your pictures, so on and so forth. Okay, I can add my original logo to the project that you all did initially. You all need to review what an MP4 file is, basically a video file, and then I can add three slides representing the Crawford Creed. So that being said, let's go to Google and we're going to type in Adobe Spark Post. Okay, now when we do this, make sure that you click on the Adobe Spark link, click on sign in, and go to continue with Google and use your email address, school, and then enterprise ID. So I know that's a lot of steps. So teachers, will you all help me out and back it up and review? You might need to stop in between steps. So here we go. So what we're going to do, and this is kind of what we're looking at here. I've done this demonstration for our logo. This is all about me that we will finish together. There's a few other things I want to add to that. But today we're just going to kind of review the process. So you're going to hit the blue plus and you're going to click on view all. So most of you have probably not explored some of what Adobe Spark Post has to offer. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to everybody go down to teach and study, and we're going to click on the poster graphic. Okay. Now we can do an infographic, which is information based on the graphics that you would like to put in. So in this case, it has a really good graphic already set for you for math, and some people could print this out and it'll look really good. Okay. So let me show you a few things that you can do with this. But the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go in here and I want you to change the red to another color of your choice. Now, remember, this is the hex color. So if you want to look at the hex color, let's find a hex color that you like. So I'm going to say University of Kentucky. Oops, sorry. Let's try that again. Oops. University of Kentucky. Let me spell here. Gosh, hex colors. Okay. So it's going to give me the codes that I want for the UK hex color. So I'm going to copy and paste that hex color. Okay. We've talked about that. There you go. So that's the hex color for UK. Now, if you want Crawford's, 00B, 050, that's the Crawford. Whoops, I need to erase all that. 00B, 050, and there's Crawford. But I'm going to use UK's. Okay. For all you Wildcats fans, if you like U of L, go on there, type in University of Kentucky, University of Louisville. Like if you want Oregon's green, you know, University of Oregon's hex color. So if, let's say you want their hex codes. If you want their hex codes, it's all right there. So if you want that, then there that is. Okay. So that's their green, but I'm going to keep it with the actually, you know what? I think I'm going to keep that green. Now I'm going to take math and I'm going to click on math and I'm going to change that to the yellow hex code. So we're going to, just to change it up, we're going to make that like Oregon. And that's Oregon. Okay. Then we're going to come in, we're going to change what we want to say. So let's come in here and put our names. And you put your first and last name. I'm going to put Mr. McGuire. And the cool thing is, no matter how much you type, it will fit to the space. But I'm gonna go back in here and I'm gonna make it a little wider, you know, like so. And if you move it around, you'll see how it's gonna, center it based on the dotted lines. Okay, so now I've got that. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to change the font. I want to make the font a little different. I want to make it a little thicker where it's easier to see. Let's see what kind of fonts we have. Let's look at, oh, I like that one. There we go. So we'll use that. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger, and then I'll center it. Okay, so Mr. McGuire. So we've got that there. Now we need to do some things with our black, and it's not math anymore. So what you're going to do is you're going to add a few things. But before we do that, let's make sure that we label this Mr. McGuire. I'm going to say review 922. Okay, that's just for today. All right. Now, anytime you want, you can click on that and you can replace the background or remove the background. So let's replace the background and see what we have. Let's go into, you can connect to your Google Drive. So in my case, let's connect it to our Google Drive and allow it. And let's see what I'm going to find. After it connects, you can like go in and find pictures that you've taken. So in our class, you've taken a bunch of pictures with your Chromebook. Now that it's connected, I'm going to replace the picture, go to Google Drive. Let's go in here and let's throw this picture in. This is Lily Rose and Savannah, just kind of messing around just to see what it looks like. So let's let it think. And then there you go. There's Savannah on the phone. You can move it around. It looks like Lily Rose is doing something kind of different. And here's the thing. This is the cool deal. Every picture that you take, you need to make sure that you put photo credit. Like Gabby took this picture and she gave herself credit, and that's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. So we're going to keep it there. Now, the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to make sure, let's see if I can do this here. I can add some filters to it if I want to. I can go black and white. I can come in here and add some enhancements. I can change the contrast, make it dark, make it light, all that cool stuff. Sharpen it. I can blur it. If you want to blur it, that's fine too. Let's throw a little shadow action in there, make it a little warmer. Okay, bring up the contrast a little bit. Let's drop the saturation down a little bit. So you can do however you want. Okay, so that's the deal there. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to come over here and we're going to add some icons. So let's add a few icons. So in this case, let's see what icons we can add. I'm going to go. It says square, so let's add a few squares to. Let's say we're going to cover up the corners, okay? Just for the sake of doing that. So staying with our Oregon Ducks hex code. We have this open. I'm going to stay right here, hit Control C to copy. I'm going to select it, Control C. I'm going to come right here, and there it is. Now, after I've already got that done, and these are complementary of each other, I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate that, and I'm going to put that in all four corners. Okay, all four corners. Control D, duplicate, four corners, Control D, four corners, and that just kind of gives it some pizzazz, whatever the case may be. Now throwing in some icons, we're going to throw in some design assets. Okay, so let's say, let me see what we got with the ducks. Let's see what we got here. So there's a duck, you know, and just because I'm using the Oregon Ducks, we're going to put a duck in there, and let's make it smaller, and this can kind of be our inside joke here, sitting right there. Okay. Let's go back to our design assets. Oh, I like that face right there. So I'm going to drop that face in there. Okay. Now, here's one thing I like about the face. It's kind of transparent, which means you can see the color pushing through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it right over Mr. McGuire right there, where you can still see Mr. McGuire and you can still see the face. So that kind of makes it look kind of weird, but that's all right. So let's go back into design assets and see what else we got. So let's say we want to focus on Lily Rose's face or, her view. So let's focus on her face. So let's make her face a picture frame, if you will. Okay, that's what we're going to do there. Now let's go in here. Let's add a few more photos. Now you can find some free photos if you want. So let's go. We'll just type in funny, see what's there, and then you can drop some photos in there. Let's say Lily Rose is acting silly, and we're gonna put this dog in there like he's confused, like what's going on? What is she doing? We got our duck on one side, and the dog's like, what? What's up? And then you're gonna come in there and add more photos. Uh, and if you want to upload some photos from your Google Drive, that way you can too. There's some libraries that you can use too if you want to create a library, but in this case, we're not. Okay. So let's go back into our logo our design assets. Let's see what else we can find here. What is this? Let's drop this. Let's say this individual doesn't want to be seen. We're going to cover up her face. Okay. All right. And let's see what else we got. Let's click on design and see what we can do. Now, let me show you something real quick. I'm going to click on this, and this is going to be some variations of what we already have. So I'm going to click that, and here's some variations. It's going to switch it over. Okay. Now, when I hit Control Z, it changes it back to the original. Control Z is undo. Let's go back to our other designs and choose a different one. See if there's something else we like. So that will enhance what we're trying to do. Control Z. I want to go back. And some of these design templates really just don't fit. But some of them, really create a nice variation to what we're already doing. But for our sake, let's go back and look at some of those things. Now, if you click animation, what this does is it animates the lettering and the font and does some cool things like that. Okay. So it says, hello, Mr. McGuire. The cool thing is you can print it out in a poster or you can drop it into, like, for example, your All About Me video. Okay. So you can actually drive your All About Me video and do some animation with that. Okay. We can click it gray, black, and white. Um, you can do a fade. Okay. Um, and we'll leave it. Let's see. Let's do the grow. I like that one. Okay, so when you're done, that should be a good example of what to do. Again, teachers, if you need to pause and back up, what I want you to do is I want you to create using your skills and what you already know about Adobe Spark Post. Last but not least, you're going to download this as an MP4 video. Start download. So it's going to take a second. So while it's downloading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Canvas in our sixth period class, and it's done. So I'm going to go to assignments. I'm going to create an assignment. We'll just call this Adobe Spark Post Review 922. Please watch this demo and complete. All right, 20 points. File upload as MP4. Okay, and save and publish. Okay. Oh, sorry. Do tomorrow, save and publish, or the 22nd. All right, so let's look at our final project. Open it up, and there it is. Good stuff. So there's some cool things you can do with it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I will add this link to the demonstration. So let's try to get this done. If you have a problem, I will help you, but let's see what all we can get done today and be good for our sub teachers. Again, if you need to rewind this, feel free. Thank you.